This weather. The hindrance.
Oh! Well, if it isn't Nilou!
Greetings, Mr. Jute. Do you still have any food that's ready to go?
Of course I do! I've heard that Zubair Theater is hosting a celebration event, so I reserved some food for you in advance. Although, it looks like you're gonna need 2 more portions.
Please allow me to introduce them. This is the Traveler, a very experienced adventurer. And this is Paimon, his super reliable guide and helper.
No. Paimon is... hold on. She got it completely right. Look, Traveler! She introduced Paimon correctly!
Don't underestimate Nilou. She always remembers every last little detail about everyone, even if it sounds completely trivial. She's also very brave. Just a little while ago, she saved my precious spices from the jaws of a sumpter beast.
Don't think anything of it. I just help out when I can because everyone else takes such good care of me. Anyway, sorry to get off topic. We're in a bit of a hurry. Mr. Jute, did you say you didn't reserve enough food?
I was joking. Anyone who runs a business knows to keep some extra stock. After all, orders get changed all the time. Oh, that reminds me. It seems that these friends of yours aren't from here. Have they ever tried any delicious tachin?
Ooh, what a fantastic idea! Mr. Jute, did you bake a batch recently? Tachin is a mixture of rice and meat that's baked into a cake-like shape. Mr. Jute adds special spices into his. Its aroma is just so wonderfully delicious. If you ever see kids crowding all around Mr. Jute's place, you know he's baking up a storm.
But is it really just for the kids? Don't you often follow them in too?
I just can't help myself.
We're 2 peas in a pod! Who doesn't enjoy some good food?
Wait here. I'll bring some over.
Whoa, what a dish! It's sweet and sour and full of deliciousness! Paimon can't eat it fast enough!
No matter how many times I eat it, it's still so delicious.
I wouldn't have offered it as a treat if I wasn't confident in the taste. I baked a lot just now, and it's all packaged and ready for you to take back to the theater.
You made so much. Is it really okay to take them all?
It was nothing. Making 1 serving or 100 servings is all the same to me. If anything, I should be thanking you for helping me clear my inventory. Don't worry about it. What kind of person would I be if I made you pay for a treat? Make sure you got everything. Feel free to come back anytime.
I'm starting to understand how you got so many things.
Yeah. Everyone has their own way with words, and it's really hard to say no. Let's go to the next store.
Nilou, good timing. I have the textiles you ordered. If you took any longer, the sumpter beasts might have gobbled them up.
You and your jokes. Sumpter beasts won't eat those kinds of things, Mr. Offsheen.
Jude said that some Sumpter beasts ate his spices. Were they yours?
Oh, yeah, really sorry about that. Nilou, if it weren't for you, I would have lost half of my profits that month.
Trying to pull anything out of a Sumpter beast's mouth is like playing a game of tug-of-war.
So they really do eat anything, huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Come now. You know, Sumpter beasts sometimes eat not because they're hungry, but because they like gnawing on things. The textiles you ordered are highly durable and woven from the finest thread. So even if a Sumpter beast got snacky, it'd still have to chomp on it for a full day.
You've tested this before?
But of course! How else could I be so trustworthy? Well, that one time was an accident. I wouldn't dare experiment with such a precious product.
True. It does sound like some good fabric.
Ho ho! Have I piqued your interest? If you want to buy some, now's a good time. Buy 2 bolts and get 20% off.
Ooh, that's a pretty good discount. What do you think, Traveler?
No thanks, Mr. Offsheen. You can't use that kind of tactic on her. Look, you've already sucked her in.
Tactic? So you mean everything he just said to Paimon was a lie?
I wouldn't go that far. It's just that Mr. Offsheen is really good at spinning stories. A word from him, and you'll find yourself buying things you don't actually need. Mr. Zubair gave me a huge lecture the last time I bought too many things.
Come on, don't look at me like that. All she got was a talking to from Zubair, while I was nearly fed head first to the Sumpter beasts. My philosophy is that stories give value to merchandise. That's why my business started with such a boom. Our Nilou here is an extraordinarily good listener. Back then, she believed anything I said. After a while, I began to feel guilty selling things to her because of how happy she looked. Though she enjoyed the stories and I the Mora, I knew she didn't need to buy that much. Anyway, since then, I've come to realize 2 things. 1, that stories should just be a means instead of an end. And 2, that there's more to business than just selling goods.
It's okay. We're all friends now. There's no need to dig up the past.
That reminds me. Some of the goods from my latest shipment aren't in the best condition. They're fine for general use, but my customers have high standards, and I don't have the time or resources to find new buyers right now. Nilou, why don't you take them?
Huh? No, I can't do that.
Just think of it as a favor for me, all right? The theater can use them for props and whatnot. It costs me Mora to store or ship, so I'm just losing money every day continuing to hold on to them.
Even so, let me buy them at market value.
Nah, these goods are hard movers. Besides, if I let you pay, wouldn't it mean that I'm just using stories to sell my goods again? Just take them. If you really feel that bad about it, give me some theater tickets later. Oh, yeah, you should also take some while you're at it. Adventurers are always in need of materials, right?
Wow, even we get a share of this?
Hurry and take it. Just looking at it all is giving me a headache. Thanks for the huge favor.
There's still one more store. Are you all right holding on to that much stuff? Paimon, why don't you lend a hand? He must be tired.
If Paimon were to refuse, would you then think less of Paimon than even a Sumpter beast?
About time, Nilou. Farhad here was snooping around your props.
Please, I was only looking at them to get a better idea of what your new show may be about.
Wouldn't spoiling yourself just ruin all the fun?
Yeah, please wait for our official performance.
These two look familiar. I think I've seen them before. Ah, weren't they at the Sub-Zerus festival?
Yeah, and they're coming to today's celebration too.
Oh, the more folks the merrier. I was actually just talking to Farhad about also stopping by tonight.
Oh, yes, please do. I'm sure Miss Raykar and Miss Nadja would also love to have a chat with the two of you.
We even prepared a small gift. Let me show it to you. Ta-da! It's a flower wreath. I really think we should wear some of these to give the event a more celebratory feel.
Wow, it's beautiful. Did you make it?
Farhad did most of the work. What a surprise, huh? He actually knows a lot about crafts.
That is pretty surprising.
Hey, why can't I have a little side hobby? I worked really hard on that.
I know. I watched you make it. I wasn't making fun of you. All right. Why don't you also try some on? We've got some wreaths in your size.
It fits perfectly.
They're so pretty! Is there one that Paimon can wear?
Unfortunately, we already gave out all the child-sized ones. I wasn't expecting the theater to invite such a fascinating guest.
Fascinating? Huh. That sounds kind of weird, but Paimon will let it slide.
Oh, you all sure got a lot of stuff there. Let me help you carry some. I'm a porter by trade, so this is what I'm best at.
That'd be great! Please and thank you. But we have a pro now!
Thanks for the help, Mr. Farhad. But let me make one thing clear first. Don't try to ask about what's in the new show. Otherwise, I may not be able to hold back Mr. Zubair this time.
You're so obvious that even Nilou saw right through you.
Shut it. Fine. It's not like I want to get on his bad side either. Including Hushang's things, though. We'll each need to carry a box if we want to move everything in one trip. Even my strength has its limits.
Paimon looks like she doesn't want to, so I'll carry a little extra. Although I may not appear super strong at first glance, I actually do a lot of strength training on the regular. Strength and balance are both really important for a dancer.
No, let Paimon. Paimon will help carry things. The Traveler's right. Paimon shouldn't freeload. Paimon's trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list? Oh, what a mouth-watering smell. Paimon would know the aroma of biryani anywhere. Let's go get some. We can still add it to the list.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. Wasn't expecting to see you here.
Hello there. Oh, it's been quite a while.
Huh. So you two are still hanging out together. Dia, didn't you say last time that you were gonna head back to the desert?
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard, not that our friendship was over. We're still the best of friends. The Holmayanis also still post jobs from time to time. Their pay is always generous, so me and the other mercs never pass them up.
I told Dia to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dia wasn't around.
That sounds like something they would say, all right. They're always so welcoming. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But the master kept insisting, and I ended up staying for another day.
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dia. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll always be next time.
But she said they'll treat you to the best dishes! Paimon can't believe you can still refuse that!
But wait. Didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? Why don't you just take me with you today, when you leave? There are so many places I still haven't visited yet.
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade. Besides, the desert hasn't exactly been the most peaceful place lately.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like I feel like something is off about you lately. Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid. Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know I'll help you however I can.
Oh, looks like Junior's was onto something.
You're too perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
My lady, you're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? All right, I'll share what I know. Let's go somewhere else first. This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion. Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention. As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. Many mercs are no different than me, just going around looking for jobs to earn some mora. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal and brave. However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of mora. The most notorious is a faction known as Deshret's Relics.
Deshret's Relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar. They're one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Akmar. The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dakan al-Akmar.
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. I found it insufferable for years. Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now. But what did they do?
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them. Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's Relic sees it. All I do know is that Dakan al-Akmar has become more and more aggressive over the last few years. If I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become their next target. I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Yeah. How can your father do such terrible things?
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him? He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time drinking and chasing after women. Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother? Did she ever step in to stop them?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother.
I'm sorry, Dia. I didn't know.
It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random person. He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me. He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. The one thing I do remember is that he used to tell me stories. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories, and even those tended to be pretty stale. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats, they started to get a little dull. He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play. Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords. It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
What an interesting guy.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish, but that was something I could just shrug off. I had no reason to despise him, until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. They not only accepted such heinous acts, they would even openly boast about them. No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father and his cronies were more like the bad guys that needed to be taken down. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never know?
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good. I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to me. Yeah, I told the boys to gather as much information as they could. Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to worry.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
Huh? But there's no need for you to get caught up in this mess, too.
Well, he's super tough, so if he went into the desert with you, then Paimon bets the problem will be solved in no time.
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if you took him along to help. I'll wait for news from you in the city until then. Please, stay safe.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my lady. All right, then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot, where we can catch up a bit with my fellow mercs.
Paimon can't fly anymore.
Are you okay, Paimon?
Paimon's good to keep going. But Paimon now understands when people say there's no such thing as a free lunch.
Oh, that sure was a lot of stuff. Oh, looking forward to the event later.
Thank you, Mr. Farhad.
Thank you, Sumpter Man. Whew. Paimon Someone's definitely going to eat it all back later.
All right, I'll leave you all to it.
See ya. Good thing we had Mr. Farhad with us, or else that would have taken way longer. Of course. Because everyone's working here together. We're all like neighbors, so we're always helping each other out. It's easy to forget that everyone's running a business.
With this many freebies being thrown at you, you probably don't need to work.
I felt so guilty at first, like I always owed someone something. I was always thinking of ways to repay others. Later on, I realized that it's actually like what Mr. Afshin said. By taking the freebies, I was helping everyone out and saving them money. When you order the wrong item, or make too much of something, sometimes the best way to maximize the value of those goods is to give them away. That's why there's no need to stress over the freebies. All of us repay others by helping them when they need it.
Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense.
This has become our norm, and no one keeps track of the back and forth anymore. So really, don't worry about it. Alright, I have to bring all this to Mr. Zubair and do a little bit of prep. Feel free to hang out here for a bit. It'd be nice if you could also get to know some other people at the theater. Nope. Mr. Zubair's really on top of everything. You two are our guests, so please, just relax and look forward to the celebration.
Wow, the atmosphere here is so nice. Hey there!
Ah, a newcomer. Doesn't look too bright.
Hey! Talk about judging a book by its cover!
You, on the other hand, you're a special one. How would you describe the concept of art? Mere curiosity is all. It makes no difference whether you answer or not. So that's what you think, Unremarkable. Better than an average person's thoughts, but nothing exceptional. Is art a product that we create and bring forth? Or is it a naturally existing resource? I, for one, believe it to be the latter.
Paimon doesn't follow.
I've been staying here for a long time. On occasion, I'd assist them in penning lines of dialogue, but most of my time I just stand back and watch. I prefer to abstain from writing as it spoils the viewing experience. The existence of the theater, of nilou, and of humanity itself. All of these can be considered as forms of art. It is not some intangible construct beyond the horizon.
How does that have anything to do with us?
Let me ask you this. What do you think is the meaning of art? I suppose that question was a little too difficult for you. To chance upon a spark of inspiration. I have been closely observing you, the players on the stage, and those watching in the audience. Art is already all around us.
Hello.
What? Who are you? You can't just go on the stage as you please. Ah, I see. Sorry for my overreaction. I'm just, making a prop. No time for chit-chat.
Is that embroidery?
No. Well, yes, but not really. It's a prop. It's just, some fabric. An ordinary piece of fabric that'll be used in a show. Sorry. I really do need to focus and start working on it.
What an oddball. Is prop making something to be that jumpy about? Oh well, it's none of our business.
Hey there. I saw you two helping Nilou move some stuff. Are you two also here for the celebration event?
You got it!
My name is Raykar. Nadia and I are this theater's prop engineers. I also help out with some other tasks like housekeeping. The little ones causing a ruckus are my children, Soreen and Abi. I hope they aren't bothering you. They always get really excited every time we hold a celebration event. Yes, they are. Everyone here takes great care of them. There's good work here, the pay's always on time, and Nilou and the others will often volunteer to play with the kids. I'm quite content with this current way of life.
Do you mean your life wasn't nearly as good before?
It's all right. It's all water under the bridge now. My husband and I were both adventurers, but he passed away from an accident. Material struggles can always be overcome, but ever since then, I haven't been able to spend much of my energy on anything else. But I still consider myself lucky. Mr. Zubair has helped me a lot, and the atmosphere here is tolerant and kind.
Sorry for bringing up such sad memories.
Oh, it's all right. I don't mind. Once the event starts, you'll be able to see for yourself the kind of atmosphere I was talking about.
Look! Nilou's back! Let's meet up with her. The event's probably about to start.
Sorry for the wait. Preparations for the celebration are finally done. I'll call everyone over, and then we can start.
Let us give you a hand.
Thank you.
Maybe we really should have prepared a gift. Then we could also be a part of the exchange. As it is, all we can do is wait and watch.
Maybe we shouldn't do this after all. I didn't do that great of a job, and who would even like it?
Oh, don't think like that. Remember our promise? We're going to give everyone a pleasant surprise. And besides, you've never attended a celebration event before, so this will be a great opportunity. Everyone will love you.
I'm still not really sure about this.
There's nothing to be worried about. Just take a step forward and give yourself a chance. There aren't any scary people here, right?
Right.
Huh. All right. Maybe this will help.